So I'm happy to be here tonight, happy to speak with you. And I know at college campuses we're all trying to figure ourselves out, trying to engage in what's going on locally but also globally and in the country, and really engaging in a debate about the future of the country. So we can talk about that tonight a little bit. We're all citizens of this country and of the world. We all have a stake in what happens here. We all have the ability to help build a better society. I have a role, and you all have a role in that too. Now, I've been known to not shut my mouth when it comes to political opinions. I usually speak out when I have something to say, whether it's on, Bill Maher or on my Twitter account. I'll say what's on my mind, and sometimes people tell me to shut up and sing. But, don't worry, I'll be doing that in a few minutes. I hope y'all bear with me for a few minutes. I'm going to speak about some things that I think are important, and hopefully, they'll be important to you as well. Sometimes people ask me why I would even risk losing fans by engaging in political discussion, but I feel like I can't help it. I feel like I've been blessed with an opportunity to use my voice to make an impact in the world, and I don't want to waste that opportunity.
That's right.
And it was with that in mind that I started the Show Me campaign back in 2007. Now, I've always wanted to help people in need, but when I read a book called The End of Poverty by Jeffrey Sachs, I was deeply moved. I read about the devastating conditions experienced by those living in extreme poverty, but I also read about the attainable possibility of ending extreme poverty within our lifetimes. So when Dr. Sachs invited me to join him on a trip to Africa to see their work firsthand, I jumped at the chance. For the first time in going there, I witnessed what it was like to live on less than $1 a day, in real human terms. And I simply couldn't accept that as the way it had to be. I had to do something. So I started the Show Me campaign. It's named after a song I wrote called Show Me. The song asks simple questions about life and death and why there's so much suffering in the world. And the mission of the Show Me campaign is to break the cycle of poverty through solutions that have been proven to improve people's lives. Because you can ask those questions, why is there poverty, why is there suffering? But the question I had to ask of myself is, what are you going to do about it? And that's the question I ask of you today, what are you going to do about it? We all have a role to play. So that's what the Show Me campaign was built to do, engage people and show them the way that they could get involved. We adopted a village in Tanzania through the Millennium Villages program, and to date we've raised $500,000 to support access to clean drinking water. Access to clean drinking water, health clinics, medicine and bed nets for malaria, agricultural education and fertilizer for farmers, schools, teachers, and free lunches that ensure that the young people can receive a quality education. These are all things that we take for granted a lot of times here in America, but for so many people, that basic infrastructure to even have a chance to live a decent life is not there. And we're helping these villagers help themselves in their struggle for humanity, dignity, and prosperity. We also do a lot of outreach to young people like yourselves. We inform them about what's going on in the world around them and also empower them to participate in meaningful change. Now, to encourage young people to work to improve the world, we started a fellowship program that provides $3,000 stipends for college students who will take unpaid internships during the summer of 2011 in the field of international development, working to eradicate global poverty, or in the field of improving education in the United States. And I've let my team know that I want to set aside a fellowship this year for a Duke student. So I'm so from now on, whenever I go to speak at a school, some of the fee that I get from the school, I give back to you all to do some work. So you're going to do that, hopefully. You're going to check out our website, www.showmecampaign.org. If you're interested in a fellowship in this area, you can do something really important this summer, and we'll make sure you have enough money to get by for the summer, all right?
All right.
That sound good? Now, I started speaking on college campuses back in 2007, and then in 2008, I got particularly involved in getting young people out to vote. And all these experiences began to affect my songwriting. I wrote a song for my last solo studio album, Evolver. The song was called If You're Out There. Now, that song was a call to action, saying that our generation was ready to challenge the status quo and build a better society. And there was so much inspiration in the air during that time that I decided to start another project which would do more to musically reflect what was going on politically and socially in the country. And actually you were hearing it on the speakers as you came in and sat down today. I started a new, more politically minded project with the Roots called Wake Up. Now, as I've said before, sometimes it's seen as a bit risky for popular artists to get too involved in politics these days. But back in the 60s and 70s, our musicians were helping to inspire an entire generation to fight for justice and to question the status quo. They wrote songs like Wake Up Everybody and What's Going On to help provide the soundtrack for a revolution. In their songs, they tackled such weighty issues as civil rights, poverty, the injustice of the criminal justice system, racism, education, healthcare, the environment, and the war in Vietnam. And carried by the powerful music of these visionary artists, and of course the tireless work of civil rights leaders like Dr. Martin Luther King and many others joining together to do extraordinary things. We truly have come a long way in this country. But for all the progress that we've seen, when we started to put together this collection of political cover songs from the 60s and 70s, I was amazed at how relevant, too relevant, many of the lyrics were today. Still today, we're fighting overseas under dubious premises. Still today, we lack the political will to fix the environment. And still today, far too many Americans live in persistent poverty. We still live in a country where our opportunities, unfortunately, are not equal. And here in America, sadly, a lot of that is perpetuated and institutionalized in our classroom every day. So let me state this very clearly. I think our public education system is in dire need of repair.